Yeah, so I'm a financial advisor and I specialize in helping people make smart decisions with their money. I just want to talk about my philosophy around a business, if you've got a business, because I assume everybody's a business owner, but in starting with the end in mind. So how I go about that with my um, financial planning hat on, so to speak.
Brilliant. Looking forward to it. Love your work, Jason. Round of applause. Now, we're going to start saying hello to you wonderful winners. Now, a few things. Please make sure you use the Zoom chat. Connect with each other. Share your LinkedIn links and connect with each other. Like I say in all our meetings, book meetings with each other. So if you realise there's a good business connection with anyone, get on a Zoom, work out how you can do business. Let's start saying hello to some amazing winners. Firstly, we've got amazing Mina Mystery with us. Mina Mystery, how are you? Such an honourable pleasure. What's been happening in your world?
Hi, Ed. It's a pleasure to see you, and good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone, because we're all from all different parts of the world now. It's not just Sydney, Australia. It's nice to see new faces as well. I'm very, very well, thank you, Ed. So my name's Mina Mystery. I'm originally born and bred in the UK, but I live in South Africa, Cape Town. That's not sunny Cape Town today. It's a bit overcast. I work actually internationally with individuals to help them to eliminate negative emotions, limiting decisions and beliefs, traumas, and behavioral patterns that are not serving them towards their empowerment. So essentially, so they can live their life and operate their life from their true selves or their authentic selves. One of my very, very first clients 6 years ago, she had 40 years of depression. And in two breakthrough interventions, 2 sessions, she removed the depression. And within 2 weeks, she dropped the dosage of the antidepressants that she was on. That also led her, we worked actually in the area of business for her, but that also helped her in the area of relationships with her father and her mother. And also because she lifted all of the underlying negative emotions and traumas, she wanted to start to do spiritual development work. So really start to do soul work and find out what her true pathway in this lifetime was. So that's essentially what I do in a nutshell with my clients.
Oh, amazing, Mina. Round of applause to you, and totally brilliant, Mina. Love it. And we've got Amir who's coming in. Amir's actually also one of our meetup leaders as well for Sydney. We've got our Sydney meetup tomorrow. How are you doing tonight, Amir? What's going on?
Fantastic, Ed. Hello, everybody. I've noticed that a lot of people say, for those of you who don't know me, and I said this to you last week, Ed, I feel that I only want to work with people who do know me.
Yeah.
And if you're at this Thursday event and you've been to the Mondays and Thursdays a few times, you'll probably recognize that the people that consistently keep showing up. Hello, Toms. Hello, a few of the others that I see over and over again. Jan, Ed, it's Jeff. It's amazing to see the same group of people together. Why? Because we all contribute differently. And I'm really looking forward to tomorrow's Sydney meetup. But you know what? Consistently, Ed, I've seen you do this for the last 3 years. And for those of you who've ever been to one of Ed's weekend seminars, that is outstanding. You get so much out of it. And I think you've got one coming up, don't you, Ed?
Yes, on Saturday in a day and a bit. So looking forward to it. Thank you, Amir.
I highly recommend it because I get something different out of each one every time I go because I'm different. The content resonates with me differently and I get new nuggets each time. But absolutely lovely to be here, and I'm looking forward to seeing some of you guys at Fish Burners tomorrow in Sydney at 2:30.
Oh, brilliant. Amir, we love you. Round of applause. Absolutely brilliant. As always, big thank you, Amir, which is great. And we've got amazing Eileen Avad with us. Going to say a quick hello to Eileen. How are you feeling, Eileen? What's going on?
Oh, I'm feeling very, very well. Ever since I've decided to follow my passion. Hello, everybody. And I'll see a lot of new faces and familiar faces. Hello, my friend. ever since I decided to follow my passion, and that is to connect and serve you, I just felt my inbox is full of messages wanting to connect, whether it's to be a sponsor or whether it's to be a trainer. It's just so awesome. And when you're coming from a heart space, everything just in line, you know, the flow, the energy. So just a little bit of introduction for those of you who do not know what now I am doing, why I'm so happy. Sorry, I'm so excited. So my name is Eileen Abad. So for the last 2 years, I've been hanging out here trying to find what am I doing? What the hell am I doing? But something that I've been doing for the last 14 years with my husband and with my son, we've been running youth program, helping you to build resilience and confidence so that they have a voice to be seen and heard. And then they can be a stand for themselves and avoid being bullying or being a bully themselves. So this is something that is so rewarding. And ever since 2 weeks ago, I have now a few trainers who have contacted me who wants to be part of this program. So I'm just so excited. So if anyone wants to know more about this program or whether to support, please reach out to me or even through Ed. I just want to say thanks, Ed. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
And-
Love your work, Eileen.
And I just want to, just a very short one. I just want to have a big shout out to Tom because he was asking me about what this program and how it helped people to overcome stress. So Tom, we had a really good interview. If you can have a voice, you will avoid being stressed out. So it started off with doing this program younger. So thanks, Ed. Thanks, Tom.
Amazing. Eileen, we love you. Just incredible. I can see David Quinn Watson right there. David Quinn Watson, sales coach extraordinaire. How are you, David?
Good, Ed. Thank you. Great to be here to see all the faces and the old ones, the new ones. Yeah, great energy. I always look forward to my Thursday nights in Australia with you guys. I'm a sales coach and mentor. Had 40 years in financial services. Learned a lot of lessons. Only realised that towards the end of my career. Now I am a sales coach and mentor, as I say, and I teach people the lessons that I learned in life and in business, only a whole lot more quickly and a whole lot more sooner than I ever did myself. So look forward to connecting with people, having one-to-ones. I'm learning a lot from you guys and really enjoy it. Thanks, Ed.
Oh, David, it's a pleasure. Love your work, man. And I want to give a quick wave to one of our new wonderful community members, Georgina Orchard. So we've got Georgina Orchard. She's absolutely amazing. Can we all wave to wonderful Georgina? Georgina, did you want to say a quick hello? Well, I've got you under the spotlight. Big welcome and thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much for inviting me. It's lovely to see all these bright, breezy faces and meet you all. And I'll meet some of you tomorrow at the networking group at Wynyard, was it Fishburners? Yeah.
Yes, Fishburners Level 3, 11 York Street.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So I'm looking forward to hearing all of your stories and what you do. So I help women. With business, probably not marketing, but a little bit of that because I've kind of learned a little bit of it. But I'm learning more through Edward. I'm looking for the amazing Edward to give me some leadership on that level, because he's the authority in this space. And but I've been kind of the last couple of years I've been learning Facebook. But I have a business background in terms of like accounting and business analysis and systems and DISC profiling. So I love helping people in that space. And I've got a group program that's just into its second week now, which is really enjoyable. Had to get my head around doing from the one-on-one thing to group, but it's actually working really well. So, looking forward to catching up with you.
Oh, big welcome, Georgina. Pumped to see you tomorrow. Round of applause. Love it. And I noticed we've got amazing Andrea with us, who's just joined in, the legendary Andrea. Andrea, did you want to unmute and say a quick hello? What's going on, Andrea?
Hi. Well, I just returned from 4 days being offline. What a nightmare coming back. Honestly, I was going like yesterday, I was going, wow. It was almost 10 o'clock at night and I was still working. I was like, no. This is not how I want it to be. So I got to change somehow, got to change something. But for the rest, it is difficult to get clients. We have 2 assistants now, and we're crushing it by sending out newsletters and offers for self-help books and this sort of things. And yeah, I don't know what people, or I should know because I've been there. I mean, nowadays that I have found the love for myself, I keep asking myself, what is keeping you from coming to the other side where it is so much nicer? And I just need to find a way to bring that across more, I think, because it's not, life is so much more beautiful when you have found the love for yourself and everything really drops into line. Huh? And yeah, I need to, I just keep going because there are millions of people out there who haven't found the love for themselves yet. And and with that, the limiting beliefs which keep them stuck in life. And yeah, I keep going. It's someday I just feel I'm close. I'm close to the big amount of clients. Let's put it that way.
Oh, all I
Trust
can
within.
say is keep the pressure on, Andrea. That's all I can say. That's awesome. There we go. We love you. Round of applause to you, amazing Andrea. And just a big welcome if you've all just come in. Want to say big welcome. We've got a special night tonight. You're here. We've got our friend Jason McGregor as our guest speaker. We'll be a big wave to Jason. Jason is our man on money, finances, insurance. I'm also going to be coming back to Jason a little bit later. But what I want to do is I want to open up the floor to you amazing winners. So if you want to say hello to the room or anything like that, now is your chance. So just hit the hands up key. So in the Zoom reactions bar, you hit the hands up key and it ranks it beautifully in order. And like I always say as well, please keep the chat going. Please connect with each other on LinkedIn. We're going to take a group photo shortly, so get ready for that. And also to book Zooms and events with each other. So it's very important that you all network. And the other point I was going to make as well, before I forget, if you love the Zoom, take photos and post on LinkedIn saying how much you love it. Let's hear from Kemi out of, keep it up to probably just like half a minute just to keep it all moving. So be really focused and direct. Kemi, how you doing? Awesome, Kemi.
I'm good. Nice to see you again, Edward, and everybody else, all the old faces and the new faces looking to connect and just be myself. So I'm Kemi from London. I'm a holistic health coach from Light. Oh, sorry, I'm saying my Instagram handle. Yeah, so I'm a holistic health coach. I help people with their health, wealth, and so much more. So if you're interested, and then I love positivity. I'm all about positive life and so much more abundance. So if you like that, cool. My link tree is in the chat box. Thanks for having me here, Edward.
Kemi, we love you. Mass round of applause. Kemi, we love you. Toms, how are you, Toms? Great seeing you as always.
Hi, everyone. I'm happy to be here as always. Thanks, Eileen, really much. We had a really nice interview. As soon as I edit, I will post it and everyone will be able to see it. And if you have anything regarding stress management, I invite you to reach out to me and come on to the podcast, Love Your Stress. I'm a mindfulness and yoga coach. As always, I help overthinkers and people to love their stress. Thank you.
Toms, we love you, man. Big welcome as always. Bhaskar, how you doing, Bhaskar? What's going on?
Hi, Ed. Hi, everybody else. Great to see you all. I'm basically a business analyst, a systems analyst, and a project manager. I want to get into data science as well. But other than that, I'm into network marketing, and I like watching cricket, tennis, football, and a few other sports. So I like keeping fit and practicing yoga, but unluckily, I'm a little bit out of shape, trying to get back into shape. Cheers. Thanks, guys.
Oh, Bhaskar, I love your work. I've been working 12,000 steps a day. It's been awesome.
I'm doing
Petrie,
10,000. 2 more.
good job.
1,000
We love you, big man. Petrie, how you doing, Petrie?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. Actually, I had a fantastic zoo with Bhaskar, so it was absolutely fantastic. So let's see what we can do together in the future. But yeah, I had some. I have to admit, I had some. I wouldn't say maybe mindset problems, but I had very tough summer because our dog died suddenly, and I took it very deeply, and still when I'm talking about it, I feel very sad. But today I had actually 2 very good meetings, and which both brought me on the surface. So I'm glad. Other one was for the health things what I'm doing with Cinzino, but the other one was for company financing, because I've been 30 years as an entrepreneur, so I have a lot of experience on financing and companies and working with companies and running the companies. So if anybody needs that kind of advice, so I can provide that also. Great to be
Petrie,
here.
big welcome. Big welcome, my friend. Great having you with us. Jan, how are you, Jan? What's going on?
I'm great, thank you, Ed. What's going on? Yeah, Thursday evening with Ed and the crew. Good to be here. Good to see you all. Thank you. Beautiful that the point love came out, because self-love is mandatory. When we love ourselves, we're able to love others as well, and we are able to find the true love through that. It's easier to have relationships. Generally, what I do is I help people to conquer their challenges conveniently. Stay in your heart, take the challenge, and conquer it.
Jan, just
Yep,
amazing,
that's me.
beautiful, my friend. And oh my God, it's Sandy Diaz. How you doing, Sandy Diaz?
Hello, I'm doing really well. Hi, everyone. I'm really sorry I was late. Some new faces. I'm very excited about new faces. Yes, really excited to be here. Looking forward to hearing Jason speak. Yeah, I can't wait. And let's connect, because I'd love to connect with anyone who I haven't connected with yet. That's all for me.
And you're a dangerously brilliant communication coach, I understand, Sandy Diaz.
Yeah, I really love talking about and teaching people communication skills, rapport skills, people skills, connecting with your clients on a deeper level, hear what's not being said, and read facial cues and IQs and all of that sort of stuff. So yeah, that's what I love to do. And I love to teach you.
Amazing, Sandy. Big welcome. Love your work, Sandy, as always. Alessio, how you doing, Alessio?
Hi everyone, thank you Edward for giving this opportunity. I'd love to see you all. I'm Alessio from Italy. I'm a wine expert, and also I work in the hospitality sector in some restaurants. Right now I'm working on different projects regarding sustainability and traveling restaurants. So I'm looking for someone who can manufacture prototypes in order to share the project to some automotive industries and companies as well. So I will put the details in the chat box, and feel free to connect with me. Thank you very much, and see you soon.
Oh, Alessio, big thank you. Love your work. We got Brad Stridham with us. Brad, so good seeing you. How are you tonight, Brad?
Ed, and hello everybody. I'm currently driving, so the lighting's a little bit bad on this side, but I will log off my camera and then just tune in on the sound as well. So I'm looking forward to hearing the chat tonight. I'm a nutrition coach here from Adelaide, and what I would love to do in the coming week is to set up some calls with a lot of you guys, just so I can get to know you a little bit better and connect. That's me.
Brad, we love you. Powerful as always. Amazing, Brad. John Attridge, how are you, John?
Hello, everybody, and nice to see everybody here. And it's sunny in the UK. You won't catch me next week. I'm off to Vegas, as you have to do. So got to go out there and do some talks. Someone asked me on a podcast from Melbourne yesterday, what was my 3 top tips in business? And I thought I'd just share them just quickly. One is capture and monetize, do something with spare capacity in your business. So if you've got some ability to take on more work, measure it up and then do something with it. The second one is Stephen R. Covey, is start with the end in mind. So if you've got a business plan, start at the end and work your way back. And the third one is another book called Richard Koch on the Pareto principle. It's also called the 80-20 rule, that says something like you get 80% of your revenue from the top 20% of your customers, and you can apply it in equal notions. So a couple little tips. Have fun, everybody. Look forward to the talk.
Brilliant, John. We absolutely love you and amazing. We've got Amy Hammond, who is clearly cooking up a storm again. And Amy, so great having you with us.
Oh, good morning, everybody. I am in Florida, and I am cooking up a storm on all kinds of fronts. So I'm going to keep this really short. Love to connect. I'm working on a series that I've been exploring every week and having some really great guests on it. It's called Intimate Conversations About, and it's about you. So if you'd like to be on a LinkedIn Live with me, I invite you to contact me, and let's just have a nice little casual conversation about what it is that you're about and what your journey, where your journey is taking you on this great path that we're all on, and regarding business. So thank you.
Amy, brilliant. Love your work. Awesome. Now we're going to take a group photo now. So please turn on your webcams and get ready for a group photo. And we're going to line up to hear from the amazing Jason McGregor soon. So get ready for a group photo. So you want to turn on your webcam. It's a good start. Lean forward as best as you can. Get your head nice and big. And give me a 3, 2, 1. Give me a big smile, you legendary winners. 3, 2, 1, a big smile and hold the pose. Oh, one more. Someone's eyes were shut. 3, go again. 3, 2, 1, smile. Hold the pose and keep your eyes open. That was fantastic. So give yourself a round of applause. Now, what I want to do right now, you legendary winners, is before I go through the stuff we get ready for amazing Jason McGregor, if anyone would like to say anything, now is your chance. So if there's anything you want to say, now is your time to say it. Just put up your hand. Be it you haven't said hello, you want to say hello, or you just want to make an addition to something. Now's the time to say it. So we're going to bounce over to amazing Jason McGregor. And Amir, what are you thinking, Amir?
I realized, Ed, that I forgot to tell people what I do. So I actually work in property. I help people buy property. So I work as a real estate agent, but I help you negotiate the price down. My favorite thing is to hunt for property that isn't advertised, to get things that are pre-market. That means that somebody's about to finish painting, but hasn't finished yet. So if you can buy it before hundreds of people have walked through, before millions of people have seen it on the internet, then you're going to be the first negotiator. And I just love helping people find their dream beach house.
Oh, amazing, Amir. Love it. Raising me a round of applause. Pump the seed tomorrow as well. Busker, what do you think of Busker?
I just had a question for Amy Hammond. Does she work with only women and women entrepreneurs, women businessmen, or does she work with everybody?
I don't know. Amy may be busy cooking up a storm, but I reckon whether she works with women or not, I reckon she'd make an exception for you, Busker. So you definitely need to have a chat with her. Normally she wouldn't work with dudes, but she'll make an exception for you. That's what I reckon, Busker.
Cheers, thank you.
Only because you're good looking. If you're ugly, she wouldn't. Because you're good looking, she'll talk to you. It's kind of but pleasure. We love you, Busker. But I love where Busker's going. So a few things. please book your Zooms. Please connect with each other. And what we're going to do is we're going to bounce over to Jason McGregor. And just before we do that, I just want to show you just the cool stuff that we got coming up. Now, firstly, my legendary friends, we've got heaps of absolutely cool stuff going on. So firstly, we have got we're on our Zoom obviously now. We've got our Sydney meetup tomorrow. We're on tomorrow, Friday, 2:30 p.m. at Fishburners. We're on level 3, 11 York Street, and I'll be there, of course, with wonderful Lassie. If you know anyone from Sydney, make sure you invite them along. And also, too, for those in Western Australia, if you know anyone from Western Australia, we've got a Perth meetup on tomorrow as well, run by the amazing Katrina Milley and Rena Strill, which is very exciting. And the other honourable mention to my legendary friends is we've got our LinkedIn Influencer Mastery Workshop this weekend. So if you want to come, so every month we run a premium LinkedIn Influencer Workshop. This Saturday, 10 a.m. Sydney time. If you want to come, click this link right now and book it in. I promise you'd absolutely love it. So without further ado, what we're going to do now, my legendary friends, is we're going to go into the amazing, magical, and go down the rabbit hole with the legendary Jason McGregor. Now, I've known Jason McGregor for a long time. He's a smart guy. He's a financial planner. He understands shares, property, what the trends are doing, how to create financial goals. And he's going to be a heroic speaker tonight, and we're absolutely honored to have you with us. And I've enabled screen sharing. So if Jason wants to monologue, he can. If he wants to share screen, he can. The idea is please keep yourselves on mute. Once he's got up to 15 minutes, wonderful Jason. And what we're going to do is we'll have Q&A at the end. So Jason, how are you feeling, my friend? Are you ready to go?
Ready to go. Pumped up. Ed, thanks for the warm up. That's good.
No, pleasure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit spotlight for everyone. So you've now taken over everyone's PC.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to monologue, please do. If you want to share screen, please do. Jason?
I was just going to just sort of wing it without just to get the people's thoughts, and feel free to fire questions at me along the way. And it was interesting, just John, you just mentioned before that book, the Stephen Covey, Starting with the End in Mind. And tonight I was just wanting to talk about that as from a financial planning perspective, how I would, as assuming everybody's as business owners, and what type of businesses you have can be dictated with starting with the end in mind sort of thinking. And from a financial planning perspective, and from how I would approach things, is you need to work with the end in mind and work out what is your number, how much do you need to actually make work optional. And to be able to work out that number, you need to take in what your ideal, retirement, or people call it retirement, or whatever, we can use retirement. And so you need to take into account how much you want to spend on travel, entertainment, time with the family. You may be into sports and all these different activities. You like eating out. Obviously there's cost of living, there's food, transportation, there's all these other bills and things. And also need to work out how long you want this money to last for. Because remember, when you're in retirement, you're not actually contributing to the pot of money anymore. You're using a pile of money. Assume it's all the same all around the world. There's not a lot of social security to rely on anymore. You need to be self-funded now. And to be self-funded and enjoy your retirement, you need to accumulate a pile of money to be able to live off for, you want to work out what your life expectancy is, and then add an additional 10 years for taking in advances to health services and so forth. So if you boil all of that down, it gets you starting with the end in mind in terms of what is your end target? How much money do you need at that point in time to stop work? Or a lot of my clients, I work with a lot of doctors and professionals. It's getting to a point where you are working because you want to, not because you have to anymore, which is it's a good feeling to have. So knowing that you've got enough money to do what you want to do, but you're actually continuing to work because you enjoy it, because of your you just love what you do. And it's probably a lot of people in that position right now are just loving what they do for work and so forth as well. So you get that figure, and then working backwards on down the other side, it's how long have you got to actually get to that figure? And boiling that down, it actually works out. So you need to actually determine, all right, so what are my bills now? Do I have home loans to repay? Do I want to go for travel each and every year? And there'll be a cost between now and that point in time. And then it all comes back to what type of, and being a business owner, it's, so how much do you need to earn to actually be able to achieve all of these things? And so when I talk to business owners, ask them, so what is your business goal? How much do you need to earn per month? And someone who hasn't actually gone through that exercise might say, well, I need to earn 15,000 per month, 20,000 per month. But if you've got a specific, you can actually come back to a specific figure and say, well, I actually need to earn $31,824.63 to be able to achieve everything that I want to achieve moving forward. And that's just how it all works with financial planning. And because there's three main variables with what determines with anything with financial planning, that's what I talk about with all of my clients, is the three main variables. So there's the first main variable is how much you earn. So how much you earn in regards to your income. So how much you spend on your lifestyle and your rate of return on your investments. So I'll just jump in, Georgina. That was just an example, the 31,000. It might, everybody's number will be different. It'll work out to say if you want to make work optional, Georgina, at age 65, for example, and you want to be in a position to spend 75,000 per year, you need to work out a certain amount, and then you've got all these things you want to do between now and age 65. You might want to buy a holiday home, help out the kids. You've got some debts to repay, or the thing that could be a number. So everybody will have their own unique number. So yeah, 31 was just a number I just pulled out of the principle there. And so yeah, getting back to financial planning. So being a business owner, you've got that capacity to actually pull the lever on how much you earn in, which is a great position to be in. But having that clarity on knowing how much you need to earn, it actually drives you and actually gives you that point of saying, well, what are you actually doing? What you're doing is, I need to actually get to this point where I'm earning X amount of money. And then if you're earning over and above that, obviously your goals could potentially change, or you get to that end goal in mind a lot quicker as well. And then you might want to reassess things and go from there. But so everything is fluid, but being a business owner, having a number by starting with the end in mind and knowing how much you need to earn and how much you can spend on your lifestyle to get to that point just gives you a bit more clarity and actually helps with everything. So it helps with what type of business you're going to actually have. Is it going to be just a sole practitioner owner, or I'm actually going to develop a business where I'm going to have employees, and what type of lifestyle you actually need to live as well. And that all comes down to just working out all these things. So that's probably how much you need to earn. And then obviously how much you spend on your lifestyle is, if you're disciplined and you know how much you need to spend on, you can spend on your lifestyle to get to that. It makes things a lot easier to actually, so you don't overspend and get to a point where, you're spending more than you earn and you end up going backwards and you don't actually accumulate enough or anything to actually get get to that retirement target. Because I don't know what it's like in the rest of the world. In Australia, you have this compulsory superannuation for employees. So if you're an employee of a business, you'll get paid 10% of your wage will go into a superannuation fund for you before you get your salary each month. But if you're a self-employed person in Australia, I'm assuming around the world, you've got to do that yourself. You've got to put your own, you've got to divvy up that money, you've got to pay your taxes, and you've got to contribute to that end goal of being able to retire if you don't have compulsory suping, or if your business is not actually going to be a saleable asset at that point in time. If it's just yourself helping, you're coaching and consulting and you're just working in your business yourself, you don't actually have a saleable asset. You need to actually think about saving some money in different options. And you can see Amir about potentially, buying property, buying shares. There's a whole myriad of different investment assets to actually contribute your money to. But it's something that you need to think about, because everybody's getting older, and over time you just need to be able to have some structure and discipline on what to actually do with your money from there. And then it comes back to the third one, what rate of return do you actually need on your investments? And that helps you sort of work out what is your sleep at night factor, is what type of investments should you be investing in? Do you actually need to be taking risks and having overexposure to small cap stocks, or cryptocurrencies, or whatever, or speculating on property and things like that? But just having a robust investment plan and strategy, but knowing what rate of return you actually need. So if you need, a 7% or an 8% or a 9% return over the long term, can you actually invest in to actually get that return with the minimal amount of risk? So the whole idea is not taking any unnecessary risks with your money, but having just coming back to just having a structure in place and having a plan to actually determine what you're going to be investing in. What is the strategy, and why? What is your strategy? Because ultimately the end goal is what was come back before, starting with the end in mind of accumulating enough money to actually make work optional. And to be able to accumulate enough money, you need to obviously earn enough through your business. You need to be able to spend what you want to do. Obviously, you want to live and you want to enjoy your life as well. People have got families and you want to travel, and you've got debt and all those things. But you still need to think about just tucking a little bit away and saving that money too, and putting that money into quality assets, which gives you the highest probability of getting the return, the rate of return that you need over the long term. And I'm pretty agnostic when it comes to investing. It's all around just finding the right asset for each and every different person, and finding but it just all falls into your strategy. So whether it be property, whether it be shares, generally the only free lunch you get in investing is diversification, and that's by not putting all your eggs in one basket. So why don't you spread it all around? Why don't you buy investment property, put some money into shares? In Australia, you've got superannuation. Over in America, you've got the 401ks. In the UK, you've got super as well. So just spread it all around and make sure you're making smart decisions, and get help if you've got any questions in terms of, particularly when you're putting money into shares or managed funds or anything. Also, just be mindful of the fees and costs, what's happening on there, because and educate yourself. There's lots of information out there around different types of investments and everything like that. And our idea is find as much education and reach out to people and learn before you're going to commit your hard-earned money to something that you don't understand as well. And obviously there's advisors as well, and just find good advisors and are out there who are willing to help you make smart decisions too. So that's what it's all about. Any questions or queries now?
Oh, brilliant. Can we give Jason a round of applause? Absolutely amazing, Jason. And we actually got some questions in. A few people want me to ask you this one. Why do, this is a good one, actually, really, really good question. And I agree with this question. Why do most people spend more time planning their holidays than their financial future or their businesses? I couldn't agree with that question more. But why do people put holidays ahead of their own financial futures? What's some of your thinking on that one, Jason?
Well, generally holidays are short term. You get that short term endorphin, you get that short term fix because I'm 45. Don't want to retire for another 20 years or so. So, 20. I'm not going to book a holiday for when I'm 65. So, that's why. And there's plenty of holidays. And I encourage people to go on holidays. Just finding that right balance, isn't it? Between enjoying life and because you're only here for a short time, and putting some money away for the future.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant, and no, I love it. Now I was going to say, if you have any questions for Jason, two ways we can go about it. Feel free to type in the question, and I can ask Jason on your behalf. If you want to go to Hot Mic and ask the questions verbally, just put up your hand. Love to hear what you're thinking. If you've got any questions for Jason McGregor while you got it, put up your hand if you've got a question or anything cool like that. Anyone? There you go. Well, I got a question for you, Jason. I was thinking about this one earlier. What are some of the most craziest things, again, not asking for professional, confidential detail here, but what's some of the weirdest things you've seen people do with money in your time? Some of the most craziest, bizarre stories, the most entertaining ones, Jason?
I suppose they're not really entertaining, I suppose, but there's always people who would get caught up in a scam. And I had a lawyer in Melbourne who was a client, and he invested in a scam and lost a couple $100,000. And he didn't want to tell his wife or his friends because just completely embarrassed about it. It's not really crazy. It's just sad. But then there's all these crazy investment schemes you see all the time with people investing in ostriches, and I don't know, there's all these different investment products, but they generally, if it doesn't smell right, don't invest.
I had this interesting one. I don't want to call out what it is. or the person, but I'm just saying generally here, and there's no one here, so please, not aimed at anyone here. But I had this character that I knew get involved in this scheme, and they were busy posting photos on Facebook about the returns they were making. Like, I put in this amount, look at where I am now. And they're posting all this crazy stuff on Facebook about their crazy returns. And they said, look, basically in 6 months, I would have achieved financial freedom. They're really big noting themselves, right? And just so you know, this person, I'm just going to be honest, they're a bit of a dick, right? And they're the sort of person that you I'm not saying anyone here wants to see anyone fail, but when this sort of person fails, you can't help but giggling a little bit. It's kind of that karmic thing. Anyway, and then all of a sudden, this person went quiet on the scheme, right? Just all of a sudden, just the whole Facebook feed was just, I'm in this scheme making all this money. And all of a sudden went dead quiet on it. And this person's actually not a bad person. I actually spoke to him and said, how's everything going? Yep, turned out to be a scam. They lost over $100,000. They got absolutely taken for a ride. And what was interesting, Jason, is that this person, they're egotistical, but they're not a dimwit. This person is actually a very well-educated character. And It's funny, the whole scams are, Jason. Sometimes the most smartest people seem to be taken for the longest ride. What do you think of that, Jason?
Oh, easy, yeah, definitely. Well, this was one of my clients who was a lawyer, super, high profile lawyer in Melbourne, partner at a firm. I also remember when I was working in London, just in a bank over there, I had a guy come in to me. This is when I was just a young guy, and he wanted the personal loan for, I think it was £10,000, which would have been like a lot of money for this guy. He was just working in a restaurant. He got a message online that his long lost uncle in, I think it was somewhere in Africa. You remember those emails that were going around? You need to just give him £10,000 and they'll be able to release the estate of 300 million or some crazy number. And I just sort of discarded this guy. Look, come on, are you serious? Like you're Italian and you want to get this money to, it just doesn't make sense. And he sort of, okay, yeah. So, but people fall for it. Yeah, you see it all the time, and we have Current Affair show over in Australia, which is just one of those ones you can just see all these dodgy characters doing all these terrible things to people, and it's horrible when it's people's livelihoods or people losing money on things, and it's and some people can get sucked in. There's some great salespeople out there and who can actually sell anything to anybody.
Well, there you go. Brilliant, Jason. Brilliant. Got some questions in. Busker, what is your question for Jason McGregor?
Jason, I have a quick question. Suppose I want to consult in the investment space. From what I've heard, I need a professional qualification like CFA or something like that. Is it absolutely necessary, or is it just plain knowledge and you get the license to do so?
You personally want to do it?
Yeah, I personally want to do it. I work in the finance space. I worked in the superannuation space before at Mercer. I was a data implementation analyst there. And I worked in foreign exchange as well. So coming to finance, I want to sort of consult in that space. So yeah, is it advisable to have a CFA or CFP kind of a qualification?
Yeah, you need to be fully qualified now. We had a Royal Commission into financial advice, the future of financial advice a few years back. And so now, well, previously I did about 10 years of study. I did my master's and I did the CFP, and I was calling myself a financial advisor. But previously you could actually just do a 1-week course and go and work for a bank and call yourself a CFP. Well, that's what Commonwealth Bank did. They were calling their advisors CFP because it was Commonwealth Financial Planning. And so the unsuspecting punter out there were thinking these guys were CFPs, but they weren't. They were Commonwealth Financial Planners. And this is one of the biggest banks in Australia was doing that. So it was the Royal Commission came down and said, look, you need to actually have a degree now in finance. You need to also, if you wanted to do it, you need to do a 1-year professional year, like an apprenticeship now, before you can actually get your license to be a financial planner. But yeah, if you want to be a financial planner, there's going to be some huge opportunities in the next few years, because as of 2025, everybody needs to be fully qualified. And if you're not fully qualified, you just have to leave the industry. And I know for a fact there's a lot of older advisors in Australia who are just going to leave the industry because they don't want to go back to university to do they've got the experience, they've had the experience, but they're just going to leave the industry. So that's, it's sad that's what's happened, but you need to actually have the qualifications now, which is good now for consumer coming through. They can actually go to a financial planner, and I think eventually in Australia, it's hopefully at some stage it'll actually become a profession. Like it's not a profession at the moment, like a doctor or a lawyer, which is actually a profession in law. We have as financial planning is still in its infancy as an industry. And so
yes, thank you. Yeah,
getting back to your question, you can
Thank you.
take a bit of work.
Brilliant. Sounds good. Great one, Bhaskar and Jason. And David Quinn Watson. What are you thinking, David Quinn Watson?
So I'm Ed. I'm thinking back to my 40 years in financial services. I met a lot of financial planners in that time, and I think Jason's talk is absolutely on the money. You have to begin with the end in mind. You need a plan. You need a structure. But when you're planning 20 years ahead, if I can use Jason's example of himself being 45 and wanting to retire at 65, the one thing I'm pretty sure of is that there's going to be a whole lot of changes happening in that 20-year period. Things aren't going to work out the way that you planned for. The investment returns, for example, aren't going to be what you thought they would be year by year. They're going to go up and down. So the question for Jason is, how do you allow for that? How do you allow for change, and what happens over time?
Absolutely, yeah. Well, 100% right, David. So everything does change over time, but ultimately, if you're looking at the long term, the end goal doesn't really change that much. You know how much roughly you need, but you're right. And my job as an advisor is to hold people's hands when the markets are choppy. It's at the moment we've had, well, the last sort of 10 years, the markets have been flying with all the stimulus in the markets, with financial markets. But now they're a bit choppy, and it's my job and as an advisor, and that's why my clients pay me, is to actually give them advice and tell them it's going to be okay. And sometimes, David, if things change drastically, or people have to change work, or there's this whole myriad of different reasons, you actually have to reassess the plan. And the whole idea is to keep things fluid, to make sure that people are making smart decisions along the way, and they're putting themselves, I'll just work on probabilities, they're giving themselves the highest probability of getting to that end goal in mind as well.
It's amazing. And I find the whole thing of people wiping themselves out, like what happened to me was I was a homeless veteran at the age of 29, 30. So in a way, financially, I was restarting my life at the age of 30. And interestingly, like I live in a place called Lane Cove in Sydney. And for whatever reason, Lane Cove we've nicknamed is the divorce capital. Like basically half the people in Lane Cove, Georgina knows what I'm talking about. We live down the road from each other. Basically, there are just divorced people everywhere in Lane Cove. For whatever reason, it's just like a divorce hub, right? So half the people are married with kids, half the people are divorced. And it's scary when, Jason, you meet people who are like older than you and they've just been cleaned out in a divorce. And it's sort of like, they're like, I mean, I'm 44, but like I met someone who was 48 that wiped out in a divorce, has no money to their name. I bet you must see stuff like that as well, Jason. You see crazy stuff like that in your line of work.
Oh, 100%. I have been, yeah.
Oh, wow.
I've been cleaned out, so which was fun. So
oh god, so you're one of those poor people who got wiped out.
Yeah. Well, it's just part of life, and it's good. I suppose it's just one of those battle scars to actually go through and have that experience to talk to my clients about as well. And it's just part of life, and it's just really common as well. So yeah, I had a house in Albert Park, which is one of the good suburbs of Melbourne, but you don't have that anymore. And yeah, so but life goes on, and it's all around. At the end of the day, like what David was saying, that my plan had changed, so you had to reassess and continue to make smart decisions along the way. And that just happens along the way, and that's probably one of the most costly exercises to go through, but life goes on.
Yeah, so I guess that's it. Like exactly, you might be doing everything well, then someone calls an airstrike on you and you lose everything. Or conversely, you do something awesome and you make a stack of money and you're like, oh, what the hell? This is awesome.
100%. 100%. And it's all around your money mindset and, you know, just carrying on with things and ensuring that you can control what can you control is coming back to what I was saying before, how much you earn, how much you spend, and your rate of return on your investments from a financial planning perspective. You know, there's a whole myriad of other emotions and everything that goes into it, but from financial planning side, it's that's what you can control.
Oh, I say I love it. You're a man of integrity, Jason. And Georgina has a question. Georgina, please type it in or unmute and ask if you like, whatever feels good.
Thank you. Jason, I just wanted to clarify so that we can kind of understand more about what financial planning is. Because I know there's, having an accounting background, there's kind of a lot of crossover between it, but there's a certain element that, you know, we're not allowed to do that you are. So I was just wondering if you could just clarify sort of the difference there.
Sure. Yep. So from my role as a financial advisor, I'm just talking from an Australian perspective, but I'm assuming it's similar all around the world. A financial advisor, like, we've got qualifications to actually recommend investments and personal insurances around, you know, like life insurance, disability covers like total and permanent disability, trauma, income protection covers. We've got qualifications to recommend that. With it on an accounting side of things, it's all around ensuring that your books on your business or personal side of things are done and your taxes are paid and up to date from an accounting side. But there is a bit of crossover when you have clients who have family trusts, have self-managed super funds, have companies, different types of entities. And I work hand in hand with accountants when there is a bit of complexity in people's lives in terms of those type of structures and entities. But generally, a financial advisor is more about investing and helping you with your planning on your personal side of things. An accountant is to help you with your business and do sort of business planning and cash flow planning and do your taxes on a business side of things as a general sort of thing.
Wow, brilliant. Thank you, Georgina, and thank you, Jason and Jan. What's your question for Jason, Jan?
It's more like a thought I would like to share with all of you. So, having a money mindset, you mentioned it, is very important, and having an abundance mentality and knowing or using the law of attraction and knowing that abundance is always coming my way. And from that space on, when we vibrate on that frequency, when we're having that mindset, we can not just attract good, it's about the choices we make, but having that mindset and having that belief that everything is happening for my ultimate good all the time. We're not supposed to have fears. When we have fears, we attract fears. So when we're having fears that someone could take our money, then we most likely attract people who would like to take our money. So mind over matter, in my opinion. And yeah, for me as advice, just go with the flow and do what you love.
Absolutely, I agree. And I think just having a bit of structure on having that money mindset as well is a good help. So we're working backwards and to say, how much do I need to earn in your business is, and then you can say, all right, well, how do I get to that level in my business? What do I need to do to get to that level? And having that mindset to actually get there is the key for sure.
Oh, brilliant, Jason. Love it. And Isabel.
Good evening, Ed.
Welcome.
There's a few things that Jason has said that, one, I don't think I'll ever retire. I don't plan to. I love what I do. And when you love what you do, again, as a young guy said, it's about the mindset. So I don't plan to retire. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing until I drop. So, and I know that a lot of people don't have that luxury to do that because they're stuck in a job that they hate. So if you do that, I can change that for you. But I understand what you're saying about the financial side of it. I mean, as Ed knows my story, my background, where were you 6 years ago? Jason, where were you 6 years ago? I made a really awful investment choice. And somebody mentioned it in the chat, Swindler on Netflix. I haven't seen it, don't want to see it. But what I've heard about it is, holy crap, they made a movie of me. So I was swindled. And it comes back to yourself. Because, man, I'm a smart woman, I'm intelligent. I wouldn't fall for that crap. I did, and I lost a lot. Lost a lot of money, lost my business, lost everything. So it's the financial side of it, the financial advice side of it. I do agree with you that people should set themselves up comfortably. But retiring, the word retiring just does my head in, because it's like, oh my goodness, I'm 53. I'm not going to retire now. I don't want to retire at all.
I don't use retirement as a word when I'm talking to my clients. I use the word making work optional. At what age do you want to make work optional? So exactly what you're saying, Izzy, is you're going to continue to work because you want to, but having enough money, you're working because you want to, not because you have to.
Yeah.
That's the difference, is to say, I was just using retirement as a word, but I never use it when I'm having discussions with my clients. It's all around making work optional, because, you know, if you're loving what you're doing, keep doing it, because if you know the age is like 60, 65, but life expectancy now is 100 potentially around there.
Isn't that mad?
So 40 years, you get pretty bored if you. What are you going to do? You mow your lawns and go down and get the paper and read the paper. You know, So definitely continue to work, because if you're loving what you're doing, 100%. But making work optional is probably the better word than retirement.
Thank you. And if please, people, don't rely on the Australian government to give you a pension.
Never rely on the government. We've all done that before. You've got a good way of being very, very sad. So there you go. And Andrea, what are you thinking? Awesome, Andrea.
For all of those who admitted that they have been in a scam or lost money, I would like to ask, did you not have once a doubt? Because I've been in a scam and I doubted. And I didn't listen to my inner voice because I didn't trust myself. And all that goes down to not respecting yourself, meaning not knowing how to love yourself first. So it's a real question I would like you to answer. Did you have any doubt at a point and didn't listen? It's, really, it's a question I like.
Okay, I'll answer that, because I didn't have doubts. I loved who I was. I was very confident. My self-esteem was good. I was very successful. I had a business. I ran a non-profit organisation. So no, that wasn't my situation. I had a dream. It was big, and my why was bigger than what I was. I met somebody online. I knew them for 2 years before I did anything. So, and we would video chat. He would show me documents. I would check them. So it wasn't like he showed me things and I just said, okay, I believe you. I checked it out. So he was very good. When I think of it now, was there red flags? Absolutely. I chose to ignore it, not because of the sense of didn't love myself, because my dream was to get there. And he had all the ticks that I needed So
Yeah.
thinking about it now, 6 years later, I know the red flags now. Shit, why didn't I pick that up? And it was only because of the dream I had. And I worked so hard to get it to that point. And I saw my opportunity and took it.
I agree, Amy.
I'm wiser now, though. Won't fall for it again.
Yeah. Because I have one of my topics are these con artists and scammers, and I went to the police office in Amsterdam because I wanted to know what sort of people would come there and claim that they had been scammed and lost their money. And then they were telling me about a woman who had sold her house just before she gave her money away. Something clicked and she stopped herself, but she lost her house, and she was then the people she sold the house to were not gonna turn around and helping her out. So now she had sold this beautiful house and was faced with having to buy something much more expensive. Yeah. And recently I had someone who actually on LinkedIn contacted me, and I mean, it makes me smile, but it also makes me not shedding tears, but the pandemic, for example, has made people so vulnerable and so lonely that I got this woman who contacted me on LinkedIn. She was something about I guess around 70 odd, and she was saying she had fallen in love with Keanu Reeves.
God, scary.
And I was like, all right. But you see, it can go so deep. This woman, she was saying that she had been contacted by him, and she was saying about what she had seen about him in the news. No. He said it was only a business contact, and
Crazy.
her voice was telling her it was wrong, and she kept going along because she didn't want to be alone. Yes.
Crazy. Got to be careful.
Sad. It's so sad.
Yeah, got to be careful.
And
Love it,
I
Andrea.
myself,
Love
yeah,
it. We'll
I
have to
myself
finish
have
up
been-
shortly. Sorry, we'll just have
All
to.
right.
So I have to finish up shortly. Alfred, your point really quickly, and we'll finish on that one. Unmute Alfred real quick. Alfred, go for it, man. Hit that unmute.
I think of the word retire, R-E-T-Y-R-E. You just change your tires. And you look at life through your eyes instead of other people's. So you don't stick to other people's deadlines, you set your own. As far as scams go, I ask Google, God, and put the name of the person or the company and ask, is this a scam or not, or a review? I do that by force of habit. Anyway, it's lovely being with you. Sorry I came a bit late. Have a lovely evening.
I swear. I gotta say, I love this one. I gotta say, I love where Isabel, Andrew, and that are going. I reckon we got to do a webinar of just Andrew and Isabel. You two ladies are killing it. But unfortunately, we're already miles over time. Just to finish up, please book your Zooms, connect with each other. Jason McGregor, we'll just bounce back to you very quickly, just to close. If people want to hire you, how can they get into contact with you, Jason?
Yeah, just ping me a message on LinkedIn. That's the best way to get a hold of me. And yeah, happy to have a chat, give you some ideas, talk about strategy. Even if you're outside Australia, I can give you a few thoughts and ideas. I can't give you any advice because I'm only licensed to advise in Australia, but yeah, just any sort of general concepts and thoughts, ping me a message, connect.
Pleasure. Jason, we love you. Thank you, everyone. This has been the ultimate topic. Jason, you've stirred up the hornet's nest. Everyone, please unmute. Let's give each other a round of applause. And definitely we need to do an Andrea Isabel special.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
guys. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Have a
Have a
good
good night,
evening.
everyone.